Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Rocket Roof Show with your host, Andy Neer. We're here with my friends, Ray Land and his son, Justin Land. They both run a fantastic company called Max4 Claims. And I hooked up with these guys, 6 or 7 months ago. I was introduced to them and what they do on the insurance side of things. And so welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for inviting us.
Yep. And so I'm going to have to admit, I've never been that keen or interested in running a lot of claims. I run them when the customer needs them, and if it's not too much muss and fuss on my end. But I really didn't realize how much money I was leaving on the table by either not recognizing damage early on, or not knowing how to correctly run the claim, or like what you guys do, running it past somebody that can supplement it and find out what I'm missing. And so I was super excited to see what you guys were doing, but not as excited as I was as how much you guys helped me on this last claim. Started out with what I thought I could do a repair for just $10,000 or $12,000, and found out that the claim came back at $80,000. Only to find out that when you supplemented it, you found another $30,000. Thank you.
Sure. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
And so when you start talking about those kind of numbers, that you can't help but get excited and saying, how can I get a piece of that action?
Sure. Right,
And it's all even. I like to put the icing on top of the cake. It's all done ethically and exactly according to what the insurance rules are. Just most contractors don't know those rules and how to play the game. And so that's really why I wanted to bring you guys on here today, because if any of us are on social media much, we see people doing insurance, we see these things going on, and we just think that everybody already knows how to do the game and know how to do the process. But I think there's a lot of subcontractors or people that maybe work on the installation end that don't know how to do the claim end, and so they think there's a lot of paperwork involved, or that there's just a lot of hassle or things you got to learn. But I want to bring you guys on to share really, I wouldn't want to say it's easy, but just with a few different pointers, some people can run a claim on their own and see that there's actually good money in it. And hopefully I don't steal your thunder, but I feel like you have a responsibility to your customer to make sure that they're getting the coverage that their policy is paying for instead of paying for a retail. So could you just give me a little bit of background on, I'm going to start with Ray. Start give me a little bit of background of how you got into doing this for contractors, because you used to be on the other side of the fence.
I did. I call it jumping the fence.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the other side of the fence before I became a contractor. I was an insurance adjuster for several years, kind of went up the ladder, I guess, in the insurance industry, and became a senior file examiner, then a trainer, manager. So I trained other adjusters, coming to find out that as I began to train these adjusters, I would always see shortages in the insurance estimates. And they were good with that. And so it kind of surprised me. And as I had family members become contractors doing roofing and stuff, I thought, man, this number doesn't work. Something's not working here. So that's how we kind of made that change, jumped the fence, and became as one of the family members says, I wear a black hat now instead of a white hat, and I feel like it's just the opposite.
When you say shortages, you're meaning money left on the table.
Oh my gosh!
Things that people
I was shocked by those numbers, and so I would question. And the idea was that is on the contractor to prove that.
Mm-hmm.
I understood right there. The light came on.
Okay,
sure.
And a little bit about you. How do you play into this mix?
Yeah, so team building, things like that. I do have a slight construction background, but team management, team building, that really is my forte. Ray jumped into kind of doing what we're doing now as a prototype with a really reputable company in Georgia, doing mostly residential homes, and just brought an awesome return his first year doing it, and said, man, we can do this better if we do this on our own, and we can serve more people. So let's try this. And shortly after Ray launched that, he called me and said, hey, I want you to be involved in this with me. Help me take it where we can take it, and let's serve more people better. And I said, yeah, let's do this. So we are about serving people. That's what we love. Mm-hmm. So we provide a pretty cool service, and that's it, man.
Okay. So let's start out with a contractor that maybe has run a few claims and nothing exciting, probably more hassle than what the money he got out of it. But, and so we'll take that guy, and also the guy that maybe he's never ran a claim. He just has done installs.
Sure.
He does retail, and maybe insurance just sounds a little bit too daunting for him. It's just, oh my gosh, the paperwork. Oh my gosh, I got to negotiate or talk with the adjuster. I don't know what to submit to the insurance company. Like, it sounds too daunting. For a roofer, I'm like, just let me tear it off and put a new roof on. That's what I'm good at.
Yeah.
So talking to those two kind of guys, what can you say to encourage them that it's not as hard? Are there some processes that they can implement that would kind of put their mind at ease? Is the money that can be made on the back half of it worth the time and effort that they could put in to learn a few things?
Sure. No, that's a great question. I think you saw that in your own.
Yeah.
Just for a little bit longer time frame and a little bit more pictures, maybe. I mean, you went from $87,000 to $81 to another $30,000 approved. So that's a win. So we find that to be the win. And so it's just your philosophy, right? Your roofing company philosophy.
Yep.
For us, quick tip on seeing the process work better. I think a roofer owes it to an insured to understand the process of something.
That's huge.
They owe it, right? They owe it. That you are the damage claim navigator to fix their roof. So you should know about damage claim. You should know about insurance. Now, you don't have to be a specialist in it, but you need to know the process. So I would say the first thing, you really do need to educate yourself on the process. We can help do that. There are other sites out there that inform really well. I would say come from an insurance perspective. Don't come from a roofer's, because roofers are not paying you the check to replace the damage or to indemnify.
That's good.
Insurance companies are. So come from the insurance side of things. And then lastly, I would say find a great partner.
So like when you say come from the roofer's, the insurance perspective, not the roofer's perspective, like you might get that first estimate from the adjuster and you're like, oh, that's pretty good money.
Sure.
I'll take that.
Sure.
And instead of saying, because I had that on this project, right? Like I was like, man, $81,000, that's pretty good. I can definitely do that and still have a great profit margin.
Of course.
And then Ray's like, I could probably get you another $30,000. And I'm like, where?
Sure.
Okay, whatever. I'll let you have at it. And come back to me. He said, well, they missed this, they missed this, they missed this, this, and this. And so, I was pretty happy. And it's not just free money, right? It's just the SkyTrack they missed, the safety lines they missed, the safety monitor.
You might come out of your own pocket for it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or just do it the hard way, right? It's like, oh, no SkyTrack, I'll just poles and jacks, which takes me a lot longer.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of people ask us all the time, like, well, in a perfect world, why wouldn't insurance just cover exactly what we need? Right? Well, you got to think about the entire process. There's an adjuster who oftentimes has never built a roof, has never built a building. They have no idea what it actually takes to replace the damage, to fix that problem, right? You do. So you're trying to make this point like, hey, I need X amount of money. Hey, this is where we need to come back, cover all this. And then you've got somebody working for the insurance company that goes, no, we don't see it that way. You've got to find somebody who can really negotiate and talk the same language. It's like you talking Spanish and I'm talking Russian. We're never going to find a result at the end of the day that we're both on board with. We're just not. And so you need to find somebody who goes, no, I speak Spanish. Ray speaks Spanish.
Perfect.
Okay, and not just Spanish, because every company, every carrier speaks a different kind of Spanish. Are they from Guatemala? Are they from Mexico? It's all different. So you really need a good interpreter who understands both the roofer and comes from the insurance side and can bridge that gap. That's what a great claims management supplement partner can do.
We'd like to take just a quick break to thank our sponsor, Top Roof Marketing, a full-service marketing group that specializes in the commercial roofing industry. If you're looking to boost the commercial side of your business, they have lots of ideas to connect you with building owners who are looking for help. Visit toproofmarketing.com.
So going back to what you had said earlier, you came from the other side of the fence where you were an adjuster, but you also trained and instructed a lot of top adjusters before you left that field too. So you really know a lot of these processes like the back of your hand, what they're looking for, maybe some of the tricks and things that they can do to try to get out of paying certain things. Like, you know all that stuff.
Sure.
And so, plus you know how to handle them. So
Sure.
that's invaluable. So walk me through, because I think even before we're talking about like getting a claim approved,
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to go back just a little bit to some guys that are new to this being like, even recognizing that there might be damage. Because I know I've done that before. Like I told you about the church project where it's like, I'd already measured it up. I'd already ordered the materials. I mean, we were ready to go on Monday. 3 days before, I'm like, you know, I've known every time I've looked at this, there's about 30, 40 shingles missing.
Right.
Why haven't I thought about
Sure.
asking them if they want to go through on a claim? Like, it didn't occur to me.
Right.
Now, kind of a little ashamed that I did that, you know, because I've been in the industry for 30 years.
No judgment.
All right.
But I'm more of a retail guy,
Yeah.
and so I'm just in the fix it. You know, let's do a new roof mode. And so, but I can't help to think that there's probably a lot of contractors out there just like me.
Absolutely.
And so, what would you say to the guy? Should he be on the initial phone call when they're qualifying the lead, or should it be when he shows up to the inspection talking to the building owner?
Let me answer that one.
Great. About whether it's insurance claim or not?
Yeah.
It's great. And I want to encourage contractors, always think, kind of have that preconception in your idea that it's going to be an insurance claim. Start there. Because if it's not, it's okay. You can go retail.
Especially if you know there has been a storm in the area.
And we can help you with that storm date.
Yep.
Perfect. So now you're going to meet with that insured, and what you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, I'm going to jump on your roof. We're going to do that free inspection that I promised you, and I'm going to see if there's any kind of damage from the wind or hail that came through.
Mm-hmm.
So now you come back down and you show them photos. Look at this, what I saw on your roof. This is hail damage all along the gutters on this. This is all hail damage on this commercial building. So now you begin to set the stage for this is how the insurance process is going to work. I want to walk you through that. And that's where we teach our commercial people, this is what you want to say at that point with your signed agreement, and walk them right through. Here's what the insurance process is going to look like for you. You're their hero. Think about this. They may have just gone through a tornado, a 90-mile-an-hour windstorm that had no name, wasn't a hurricane. Now you've found them or they found you maybe at the worst time in their life financially. They may have a $500,000 building that they've invested into that part of it's blown away. You become their hero when you say, you know, I got this. I'm going to walk you through this process.
Sure.
Here's how it's going to work. Man, you become knight in shining armor at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I've actually had some guys say, you know, why would you want a new contractor that's never ran a claim? Isn't he out of his league or, you know, out of his element trying to navigate this process? But that's really where you guys come into play, right? Like they can get on some of your tutorials, some of your videos, or even call you up and say, hey, what am I looking at here? Is this covered? Is this not covered? What should I be looking for?
Absolutely.
Even if they don't really have a lot of experience.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're looking for when you're looking for a good partner in claims management, supplementing. For us, we take on a relational approach. We really want to make sure that we're very selective with who we work with. We'll make sure that they can reach us. We know we can reach them. We want to keep the communication lines open. But here's the beauty of what we do in our system is once you task us, once you put everything we need in that customer folder, we take on 100% of the communication with the insurance company, 100%. You don't have to negotiate. You don't have to, you know, talk on the phone with these guys. Like if they call you and if they miss all of our information that's on the estimate, you know, the supplement, and they happen to call you, all you have to do is say, hey, let me get this back to my team. Ray wrote this one up. We'll call you back. You literally would call Ray. Hey, Trevor, the adjuster, just called me. Can you call him back? Absolutely, I'm on it. Boom, immediately that day we follow up.
And then he emails a correspondence.
100% through us.
Shows that he actually is on my team. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a third party.
No, we set up everything that we do as if we aren't a third party. So we are on your team. We're not in-house, but we are on team. And so every time we represent those claims that are from you, we're representing you. So with who we work with, that's how we try to set things up. So that would be the advice we can give to these guys, roofers and commercial guys. Hey, do a little research on the front end with who you're partnering with and what exactly they offer and how they do it, because you want to find guys that line up with how you're trying to approach things. We started out early on in our journey, and guys would try to squeeze every little dime out of us and go, shouldn't they have caught this and this and this? Like, well, hold on. Did you see the other item that we got that you never noticed that's more than all three of these items right here? Are we really going to play that game, or are we going to, and so it's partnering with somebody who understands what you're trying to build and where you're trying to go and grow, and then let these guys partner together and get something better. We believe we're better together. So long answer to a short question. But
And can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Andy? Was our process hard for you? We actually did one for you.
No, it was very easy.
Yeah.
Good.
It was very surprising. I was thinking that there was going to be a fight, put up, the adjuster was going to come back and forth, but it wasn't. I mean, they missed a few items, and the adjuster was like, I didn't see those. I didn't put those in there, but he signed off on it and wrote us a check. Now, just play the devil's advocate. On the other side, I did submit a claim to you to help me on, and the engineer had already been there. I wasn't able to meet with the engineer because it was short notice,
right.
But they said that it was a wind claim, but they said the roof failed, and it wasn't because of the wind. It was because the membrane became detached on its own because of age. And I'm like, that's complete bull. I know it's complete bull. I could see how, it's not my first rodeo, so I knew this is from wind. And so I sent it in to you thinking, Ray's going to have no problem. It's going to slam dunk. But you had to tell me, like, it's one of those rare cases, like 1% of the time, the engineers will actually do a very thorough report. Like the engineer wrote like a 65-page report, laying out everything. And I know who these engineers are. They're in the area. They're very professional guys. They're very thorough. And we could have argued it and taken it many levels higher, but then we would have had to go to great lengths.
Right.
And I just had to tell the building owner that probably it's only a 60 square roof. So it wasn't. We're not talking about millions of dollars here. So I just told the building owner, this is the hand we got dealt us, and we're just going to have to do this one retail. So I can't say that you guys are a silver bullet for everything.
Sure.
And I don't want to give that perception, but 99% of the jobs out there, they're going to be able to, you guys will be able to find some money. In fact, you guys had a statistic that you ran where, what is it? How many percentage of supplements?
Everything that comes across Ray's desk, we found that 90% of them had left off several things that should have been paid for.
Big time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big time.
So you think, they'll just pay for it. I'll just take what they give me. Well, I wouldn't do that. I would get a second opinion. Why not? Why not? It's just checks and balances.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stewardship, right? You owe that to the insured. You owe that to yourself. Mm-hmm. And like you said, you went through this process of insurance with this guy. At least he knows you tried your hardest to do the best solution for him as an insured and not just try to get a job. Sure. He's going to absolutely trust you for the future.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I mean, you did mention a story this morning when we were doing our other program that you had mentioned that one adjuster was like, well, we're not going to include 5 inches of ISO because they don't have code enforcement there. And you were like, no, this is code enforcement. He's like, well, I don't think there is, but I would need that in writing if you say so. So you had to go the extra mile to get the building official involved and get a written letter. And so, you just gotta, they have the rules they play by. You just have to.
Yeah. That was a good point, because he had literally told me this state does not require it.
Right.
Well, I knew I'd gone a step further, that the city did.
Yeah.
He was right. He was right on target. And some contractors may have agreed with him at that point, but I knew better. And so I had actually asked the city inspector, could you put on letterhead that you do enforce this EICC code for 5 inches? He said, by all means, send it over to me immediately.
So
I put it in the adjustment.
So let's reverse. What if he would have settled for the first number, went to do the job? The city's going to, you're going to have to pull a permit, and the city's going to say, no, you have to have the 5 inches here, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The contractor's out that money, right? Or they're going to have the building owner.
They literally could have that contractor pull that surface back up and do it correctly.
Mm-hmm. But more than likely, now you've got to go back to the the building owner and go, hey, Mr. Building, sorry, this is going to cost us a lot more to do this job now. And who loves that?
Yeah.
Nobody.
No wins.
Right. So I think, Andy, the biggest thing that we try to bring to the table is we try to say, hey, Mr. Roofer, the burden of proof is always on you.
Mm-hmm.
Always on you. So build a team that understands how to make sure that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So, how can guys get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of you to give them a hand?
Sure. There's a lot of great guys out there who do what we do. If you're looking for a partner like us,
I wouldn't say a lot of guys.
well,
There's a few guys.
being nice. Being nice now. I mean, we're certainly different. We have a different team. We have a different staff. We're structured different, and I believe we have a very unique philosophy. I really do. And we can share more on that. It's on our website. You're welcome to call Ray and I. We're both co-owners in the company. We will answer your phone call. Try to do that somewhere else. So there are some things that we do and pride ourselves on.
And all the people on your team are, how do I say it? They
Senior level.
Management level above from insurance companies.
Yep. So
Yeah.
they've already worked as an adjuster or something like that in
And
another
trained
company
others.
and trained others.
Mhm.
They're not just a field adjuster that came and got a job with you guys.
No,
So-
we hire A+ adjusters with what we do. They are claims specialists.
Okay.
And most all of our team, they were manager level, and most of them have trained other desk adjusters.
Mm.
So it's great. We already know the guidelines and standards of each and every insurance company. And so, all of those nuances change over time. So we're continually educating ourselves on that. Great tools for codes, all this thing. So if you think that you can kind of do it myself, we get here like, I'll just do it myself.
Sure,
I know how to do this, or I'll raise up a guy to do it. He's pretty savvy. That's fine. That's a philosophy. We have a different philosophy. We believe elite teams produce elite results.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to hire elite staff that are passionate about bringing that value to your team. So if that's the kind of roofer you want to be and you want to go, hey, I don't know much about the insurance company or insurance claim process, but I want to partner with somebody who can play like a basketball team, right? I need a really good defender. I need to go out and get a Dennis Rodman.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, you got a Michael Jordan. You've got a Scottie Pippen. Go get you a Dennis Rodman. Don't just not play the game. Don't win the championship because you don't want to get a Dennis Rodman. Go get a Dennis Rodman. And so we want to be that for companies. We say, hey, if you need a defender like that, if you need a Dennis Rodman, pick us. Let us jump on the Bulls real quick and help you win a championship. We love doing that for
Which
every
one of
client.
us is Dennis Rodman?
Every client. Well, we don't, neither of us have the hair. So that was a bad poor example.
So do you mind sharing with how you get compensated? How does a contractor pay you for your services?
Sure, absolutely. Great question. So we actually get paid 10% on new money found and approved.
So use my project that I was talking about as an example.
Sure.
30,000, and we invoiced you for 3,000.
Yep. So the original estimate from the adjuster was 81,000,
Mhm.
We don't touch that.
and right, you don't touch that. So then you found me through things that were left off the estimate,
Right.
another 31,000, and so I paid 10% to you guys on that new money. So my bill was about $3,000.
That's
And
it.
the good part of that, hopefully we've built such a process that it takes all that burden off of
That's
you.
it.
Because how many of you out there have been thinking about, man, I'd love to do supplements on these insurance estimates. Man, that's a kicker. I don't have time for that. We do.
Yeah.
That's what we do best.
I could have spent hours on that and
Hours.
maybe got another 5,000.
Sure.
Hours.
Sure.
And that's a
Understand.
philosophy, right? Some owners go, well, I had an owner 2 weeks ago tell me I've spent 28 hours on this one supplement and I got 2,500 extra bucks.
Wow.
To him, maybe that's valuable. To me as a business owner, I'm like, there is no way in the world.
Per
I would
hour,
ever
that
do
wasn't much money.
No, it's poor money. So I say, why don't you let somebody who's trained to go super fast and get better results, why don't you hire them to do that for you? And if we find nothing, you pay us nothing. You don't pay us salary. You only pay us commission on what we earn and get for your company. It's like, man, Luis this morning was like, oh, is there a subscription fee each month? Like,
Sure.
no. We get paid nothing if we don't find anything. Here's another thought. So we'd love to look at every insurance claim. So if you see one, you go, oh, I can do this one, but I'll send this one to Ray. No. Send it to us. If we find nothing, we charge nothing. And we'll look at it and go, hey, man, don't worry about us. They've come out pretty good on this. I mean, you're not going to do much better than this. You might fight them for an extra $300. I don't think I'm going to do that.
Right.
We don't charge for that. So that's a service that we offer that not many folks offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to wrap this up here.
Right.
Did you already explain how people can get a hold of you? phone
maybe
number,
not.
email?
I think we're laughing up, maybe talking about Dennis Rodman, but Max4Claims.com. That's the best way to do it. We're on Instagram. You can comment on there. We'll definitely hit you back. It's at Max4 Claims, but the website's the easiest. You can email me directly with info@max4claims.com. You can call our office. There's about 5 different ways to get a hold of us on that one website. So however we can serve you, even if you're looking for advice, to have a real honest, open conversation, there's no sales pitch here. Ray and I'll take your call. We'll talk to you as a business owner to business owner. No, and we'll talk it out with you. So yeah, we love the phone calls.
Yeah, the Max, MAX, the number 4, claims.com.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on the show today. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for inviting me.
And you guys flew out here on your own dime just to hang out with me. So I know initially I was like, hey, let's do a podcast. We'll bring you on, like we do usually with a Zoom call. And you're like, why don't we just come visit you? And I was like, whoa, people actually do this? Like,
Hey, I got an idea. Let's go do a building inspection together.
we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. So actually, I don't know if you guys can tell, this is our first podcast in our podcast studio. As you can see, it's not quite finished yet. Not quite finished yet. But, you guys know I like to be transparent. I don't mind showing you that it's still under construction a little bit. Man. It's about 95%.
You see the growth.
Yep. So hopefully we can start having more guests in here. We're trying to get off to the Zoom platform and have something more in-house. And we want to do some podcasts that are on the road, me visiting other people too. So good things to come. I don't want to be a flash in the pan podcast, and I want to continue to bring good value like you guys that are definitely high-level experts in your field, bringing value to roofers.
Thank you.
So thank you.
We're honored by that comment. Thank
Appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to be here, man.
Okay. Maybe we'll have you on again in the future.
Thank you, Andy.
Fine.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye.